All right, welcome back to Ole Red's coverage of Doane University Tigers football, brought to you by Crete Ace Hardware, the help for hardware folks, Ken's Use Safe Pharmacy, caring for you and about you, Crete Area Medical Center, Friend and Wilbur Clinics, Stop and Shop in Crete, fast and fresh and fun. All right, so it's 13-10, Midland leading it over Doane. The Tigers have had the lead the entire game until midway through that third quarter when Midland was able to score a 35-yard rushing touchdown courtesy of Tyson Denkert, the sophomore running back for the Warriors. Well, Midland was honoring, I believe they were honoring the 2013 volleyball team over on the right side of where I'm looking. They were honoring them into the Hall of Fame class of 2023. 3rd and 3 from the 22. Barry's got Denkert behind him, 3 receivers to his left. Sends a man in motion. Hands it off. Denkert trying to get to the line again. He didn't get there. Or did he? He powered forward and got 2, but didn't get 3. Nice play by LaValle there to make the initial stop. And then it was Songster and Kuntz getting in there to make the play as well. Cooper Hancock was in there as well. 4th and 1. Here comes the Midland punting unit. Now, Doane's got to be careful here, too. Got to be careful that Midland doesn't fake this punt, which I'd be very surprised if they did from their own 24-yard line up by 3, especially in the fourth quarter in a situation like this. DeRiso's back at his own 35 to return. Punting from inside his own 10 is Hodges. Boots it away with the wind to his back. It bounces at the 35. Oh, inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5. Oh, I think they just downed it at the 1-yard line. They did. Midland downs it at the 1. DeRiso makes a massive, massive mistake. He should have fielded that ball at the 25-yard line, and he let it bounce past him. And now it's down at the 1. A huge mistake on special teams for Doane. You hate to see that with 14 minutes to play in the fourth and this much of an intense and clutch situation. And now Doane has their backs to their own end zone, practically snapping the ball from their goal line at this point. And now the crowd has a reason to be loud here. Those cowbells below me are going pretty crazy right now. 1st and 10 from the 1. Williams, Frazee Wynn needs to get out of his end zone, and he does. He gets all the way to the 6. Nice pickup there for Frazee, the senior. Picks up a nice gain of 5 on there. It's 2nd and 10, or excuse me, 2nd and 5. Frazee still in the game as well, lined up to the left of Rook. Joaquin Gutierrez and Jeremiah Payne's on the near side. Looks like Carson Reimers and Nate Fox lined up in the slot on the far side. 2nd and 6 from the 6. Frazee Wynn, the carry to the left side on the far sideline, tries to make a man miss. And I don't know if he got anything on that play. Maybe a half a yard or a yard. Can't quite tell. Might have gotten to the 7 there. So now it is going to be about a 3rd and 4. Frazee's still in the game. Here comes Darnell Riley, lined up with a few other guys here on the near sideline. DeRiso's there. So is Jeremiah Payne. 3 on the near sideline, 1 on the far sideline. Well, they take a shot with Gutierrez on the far sideline. Looks like he's on one-on-one. 3rd and 5. From the 7. Williams looking to his left. Pump fakes. Dumps it off. Darnell Riley couldn't come down with it. It would have been enough for a first down. Incomplete. 4th down and 4. Man, that one was pretty well thrown there to Riley, but just good pressure by the linebackers of Midland getting in there and making the play. Well, Midland is getting loud. Can't quite tell what the cheerleaders are saying, but they are definitely chanting louder than they were before. Kellen Myers punting into the wind about 6 yards deep in his own end zone. Back to return is Tyson Denkert. Meyer boots it away, and the wind pushes it back. It's going to land at the 38 and take a Midland bounce, and recovered at the 36-yard line. And on the play recovering that one was Lucas Christensen, the freshman. We'll keep it here on Ole Red. 12:32 to play in the fourth quarter. 13-10 Midland, leading it over Doane. Warriors get the ball back at the 36 of Doane's territory. That's the thing, when you kick into the wind from left to right, if you're punting, if you're kicking, it's going to be very difficult. And Kellen Meyer has found that out the hard way. He's one of the best punters in the G-Pack, but you can't do anything about that wind. Taryn Berry with Denkert to his left. He's going to pass and look to his left. Has a ton of time as there's pressure. Late hit. It's caught on the sideline. And it's complete to Jordell Lacey, the tight end, down at the 20. It wasn't a late hit, excuse me, folks. It was not a penalty on a late hit, but there was late pressure that got to Berry and hit him as he released the football. I believe that late pressure was Christensen getting in there, the linebacker. But he completes the pass to Jordell Lacey on the near sideline. Ball is now at the 20 in the red zone here. 1st and 10 for Midland. Lined up in that jumbo set. 2 receivers to the right. Direct snap for Denkert. It's a Wildcat. He'll run it to the right side. Finds a hole. Denkert inside the 15. Down at the 14. Pickup of 6. And it's 2nd and 4 here. Well, Doane's going to need a big stop here. They might just need a turnover. They have 2 interceptions this season, 7 forced fumbles. They need one desperately here. Looks like Denkert's in the Wildcat again. I think this is an obvious Wildcat running play here for Tyson Denkert. Doane should be ready for this. 2nd and 4. He's going to run it. This time he goes up the middle, finds some space. He's inside the 10. Wrapped up, brought down at the 5. Pick up on the play of 9. Enough for a first down. 1st and goal for Midland at the 4. At the 5. They are playing really well right now, Midland. And they're lining up in the Wildcat again. They say, well, Doane can't stop us. Might as well continue to run it. Denkert's going to run it again, this time to the right side. He gets met as he spins forward, reaches for the pylon at the 1, but he's down at the 1. As a pickup of 4 on the play. And you got to think Doane's defense is tired. They've been out on the field a lot in the second half. And with 10.5 minutes to go, Midland for 2nd and goal at the 1. And if my eyes deceive me, they are not going with the Wildcat formation again, which they've went for almost every play of this drive. Berry with Denkert behind him. Berry takes the handoff, looking to the left side of the end zone, and going there for Lacey, incomplete. Good coverage on that play there. Coming up and breaking it up was Brendan Knapp, the junior free safety. Nice coverage. 3rd and goal from the 1, and you got to think, from the way that this drive has been going, they're probably going to run this one. From the 1-yard line, 3rd and goal, leading by 3, trying to make it what would be, with an extra point, a 10-point advantage. With about 10 to play in the 4th. Wildcat formation for Denkert. I think we know what's going to happen. Doane's defense and the goal line stand. Denkert powering to the end zone. He is in for the touchdown. Tyson Denkert, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. His 2nd one coming here in the second half. And Midland extends what was their 3-point lead. Now it's 19-10, a 9-point lead. Looks like they'll go for a PAT as well, with Quinones, all-time leading point scorer for Midland. This is a PAT. He's already 1 for 1 on PATs today. This one, with the wind to his back, is good. So Midland, 1-yard rushing touchdown on the Wildcat play by Tyson Denkert. He's got 2 today. Doane needs a big offensive drive coming up next on Ole Red. 2010 Midland leading it over Doane from Fremont. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Ole Red 99.5's coverage of Doane University football. Well, after this game, folks, there's only 3 games left here on Ole Red of the season. It's crazy how fast it's went. I mean, I just remember driving 4.5 hours up to Lamoni, Iowa, when Doane played Graceland in week 1 of the season. If you guys listening can remember that one. A tough 42-17 defeat, but that was the first game of the year, and oh boy, it's been a fast and quick year from then. Kicking into the wind. Jeremiah Payne takes it on the kickoff from the 1 yard deep in his own end zone. Tries to make a man miss and gets wrapped up at the 15-yard line. Maybe not the best decision for Jeremiah Payne on that return. The ball came out at the end of that play, by the way, but JP was already down. So here comes Doane from the 15. They're, by the way, folks, they're going into the wind. So Rook Williams will have to pass the ball going into the into these wind gusts here in Fremont, Nebraska. All right, 10:01 for Doane to get 2 scores. 1 field goal, 1 touchdown to tie it up. 3 to the left, 2 to the right of Rook Williams going empty. Williams looks to his right first, then looks left, rolls to his left. Now it looks like he's going to take off and run it. He slips down all the way back at the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 on the play for Rook, and it's 2nd and 12. Folks, this game is brought to you by Stop and Shop in Crete, fast and fresh and fun. Thank you to our sponsors this season. They've been the same all year. They've supported us in this coverage of Doane football. Looks like they switched the play a little bit. 3 receivers to the right of Rook, 2 to the left now. 2nd and 12, excuse me. Rook Williams looks to the right, takes a shot down the far sideline. He's got a man open. It's caught. It is caught by Brendan Lambert out at midfield. He makes the catch. What a throw by Rook Williams into the wind. He says, I don't care that it's into the wind. I have a strong left arm, and I can make myself a threat with that thing. Lambert makes it first down on the big near 30-yard pickup. Now at midfield, Williams pressured off the edge. Pressured, he goes down. It's a sack. 2 Midland Warriors got in there to make the play. Noah Ethan, one of them, and the other one looks like it was Shane Riley. So they were at the Midland 49. Now they're backed up at their own 44. But a little bit of a loss on that sack. 2nd and about 18. 8.5 to go in the 4th. Well, Coach Bessler and Coach Dixon know they need a big play here. They're going 5 wide every play. Williams looking to his left, surveying, fires it over the middle, and he had a man open for just a split second, but overshot him. It was Perez. Incomplete. Now 3rd and 18. You got to think, it's just 4-down territory for Doane here. In a situation like this, do they just try to get yardage and go for it on 4th and medium, or do they try to get the first down here on 3rd and long? I guess it's time to find out. The fans are ready, that's for certain. Midland on 3rd and 17. Doane needs to get to the Midland 39, currently at their own 44. I can hardly even hear myself think right now. Williams to pass. They send 3. Williams over the middle. Oh, and he threw it behind his receiver. Darnell Riley was wide open on a slant route. He threw it behind him. Incomplete. Well, they were going for exactly the situation that I had intended for. Trying to pick up a few yards and then go for it on 4th and medium. And now, because they got an incompletion, Doane has no choice but to punt with 8:10 to go. Tough break for the Tigers. Kellen Meyer on to punt it from his own 30 into the wind. Denkert to return. They got pressure on Meyer. He boots this one away. Fair catch signaled and taken at the 20 by Denkert. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Midland up by 10 with 8:04 to play in the 4th here on Ole Red. 8:04 to play. This is our 4th quarter stop of the game reminder, brought to you by Stop and Shop in Crete, fast and fresh and fun. Doane needs to stop here desperately. Down by 10, midway through the 4th. They need a big stop. Denkert lined up behind Barry. He gets the handoff, finds a hole on the left side, and he just picked up about 7 yards on the first run of the drive. 2nd and 3 out to the 27. But you can't do much more on defense than that. They've been trying to stop Denkert for the last 2 drives, and he's just been able to pick up chunk plays on the last few plays. I mean, he's averaging about 6 yards per carry. He's having himself a great, great game. 2nd and 3. Now 7:20 to play in the fourth. Looks like they'll hand this off to Denkert again, it seems, and they will. He'll go to the right this time. Oh, he got met. He still actually carries a few Tigers forward and then picks up the first down. Wow, he picks up 5. He got met immediately on that play by Jarrett Boggs, but I guess he never went down. He carried a few Tiger defenders with him. Well, Sean Henry and this defense trying to figure this out right now. Denkert is having his way with Doane's defense right now. Nearing 150 rushing yards on the game. So 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line, Midland. 6.5 to play in the fourth. Man in motion is Lacey. They'll give it to Denkert instead. And finally, he gets wrapped up and gets no gain. All right, Doane, so they managed to stop Denkert right in his tracks. Nice tackle on that play there from LaValle. Got him by the legs and never let him go anywhere else. Seward came in there to finish the job. Now it's 2nd and 10 from the 32. Well, you know Midland's content to run this clock off as much as they can. Still 15 on the play clock, though. Be surprising if they snap this early. And they will. Barry handing it off to Denkert, trying to get to the left side edge. He finds a hole, gets across the 35. He's out to the 37. So he picks up about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and medium coming up here for Midland. This is our fourth quarter stop of the game reminder presented by Stop and Shop in Crete. Fast and fresh and fun. They need a stop here. Midland, like I said, tied with Concordia and for 5th in the GPAC at 3 and 4. Briarcliff and Jamestown tied for 7th at 2 and 4. Hastings and Mount Marty tied for 9th at 2 and 5. Doane is 11th. They're winless. Morningside Northwestern tied at 1st with 6 and 0. And Dorton Dakota Wesleyan 5 and 1 and 4 and 2. Looks like we have a whistle at the beginning of the play. Well, I guess Midland didn't like the play that they had for 3rd and 5. They call a timeout the last second. We'll take one too. 5:09 to play in the fourth. Midland up 10 over Doane. Doane needs a big stop. We'll come back after this on Ole Red. Welcome back to Fremont, Nebraska. We'll be in Seward, Nebraska in about 2 weeks for a road game against Concordia. That's in the second to last week of the year. Then we'll be at home in a week and at home again in 3 weeks. The final 2 home games of the year against Mount Marty and then against Hastings. But it's 3rd and 5. Doane needs a big stop. This game is brought to you by Stop and Shop in Crete. Fast and fresh and fun. That's actually our fourth quarter stop of the game reminder as well. Can they stop Midland? 2 receivers on both sides of Taryn Berry. He'll pass it as Doane sends 4. Berry takes off and runs it himself across the 40. He got the first down to the 44. He's able to pick up 7 when he just needed 5. First down for Midland. And that might just be a little too much for Doane to come back from in this situation. Unless they get a turnover here. They are really good on forced fumbles with their defense. 7 this year. But they really need one desperately here. We're at 4.5 to play in the fourth. 20-10 Midland. Barry is going to go, Denkert actually goes Wildcat again. And to nobody's surprise, he runs it up the middle. Picks up about 3 yards or so. It'll make it 2nd and 7. Looks like Doane's used a timeout here. So Doane uses their first timeout. They need to get the ball back. Coach Bessler understands that. We'll take one, too. 4:18 to play in the game. Midland up 20-10 over Doane. 2nd and 7 for Midland coming up next on Ole Red. Welcome back to Doane Tiger football. Like you heard from Trevor Steinmeier. Thank you to Trevor for setting this all up. Trevor was a big part of setting up Doane football. And right now, Doane needs a big stop on 2nd and 7. Can they get it? It's been a lot of Wildcat formation for Denkert, the tailback, but he's not in Wildcat this time. He's just lined up behind Taryn Berry, the QB. He's going to get the handoff, though, as he gets to the right side. He might have some space around the right edge. He's across the 50, across the 45. He's across the 40 and downed at about the 37. Massive pickup on the play of about 15 or 20 yards. First down, Midland, with 4 minutes to play in this ball game. It's a really tough break for Doane. They've really tried their hardest to keep themselves in this one. Just not the best second half. And now it is 1st and 10. What seems like a miracle at this point if Doane would get the ball back and win this one. Denkert on the carry ends up getting a solid chunk on that run, 5 yards or 6. Second and medium coming up. Denkert averaging about 6 to 7 yards per carry in this game. Yeah, I really don't like to see that from a Doane perspective. You try to guard the run as much as you can. Coach Bessler emphasized to put them in tough third down situations. That's a huge part of it. They just haven't been able to stop Tyson Denkert here, the sophomore running back. So he's been able to do everything. He's in the backfield right now. Will he get the carry again? Yes, he will on 2nd and 5. Denkert, nice tackle there on the play. Getting in there was Jarrett Boggs, and he actually loses a yard on the play, and it's 3rd and 6. Looks like Doane will use their second timeout with 2:41 to play in the game. We'll keep it here on Ole Red. Take a look at some scores from around the GPAC in football today. As obviously Midland leading Doane 20-10. Jamestown leads Morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm sorry, folks. I just saw this for the first time. Jamestown is beating Morningside 29-23, 13-23 to play in the fourth. That would be one of the biggest upsets of the season, no doubt. Dakota Wesleyan leads it over Briarcliff 17-14 late in the fourth on that one. Northwestern taking care of business against Dort 35-14. Northwestern and Morningside actually meet up next week. Could be a matchup of number 3 versus number 1, or Morningside could get significantly dropped down the standings if they lose to Jamestown. That is actually unbelievable. Hastings leads Mount Marty 42-34. Doane men's soccer tied against Dort 1-1. And women's soccer plays Dort at 4:15 p.m. So we'll keep an eye on that Morningside game. Now it's 3rd and 6. Doane needs a stop. Barry's going to pass, looking to his right, going to the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Kalen Coates on the far sideline. Midland extends their fourth quarter lead, and now seems like that could be the nail in the coffin. Long touchdown pass of about 30 yards. Barry, second touchdown pass of the game for him. And now Midland is up 26-10 over Doane with 2:34 to play in the fourth quarter. And that is the thing that has plagued Doane so much this season. Second half, keeping the lead in the second half. The leading point scorer in Midland team history, Jerry Quinones, comes in, gets the extra point, and we'll take a break. 2:34 to play in the fourth, 27-10. Midland leading it over Doane on Ole Red. Welcome back to Ole Red's coverage of Doane football. We have an update from that Morningside-Jamestown game. Morningside just scored a touchdown to tie the game up at 29 with about 11 minutes to play in the fourth. That game is actually in Sioux City as well, so it's not even a road game for Morningside. Jamestown just playing that good on the road. Jamestown is 2-4 in the GPAC this year. Morningside is 6-0. If that's any indication as to how big that upset would be if it actually happened. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that game. But for now, Midland up 27-10 over Doane. After the touchdown pass of 30 yards from Taryn Berry, delivering it to Kalen Coates. Jeremiah Payne from the goal line on the kickoff across the 15. He just pitched it to Joaquin Gutierrez on the near side. He gets to the 15. You know, it might have been better off if JP kept that ball. But he lateraled that one to Joaquin Gutierrez, and Gutierrez just gets to the 15-yard line. That's where Doane will start. So here comes Rook Williams. He's had a pretty good game so far, but Doane's offense has been shut down here in this second half. And a big part of it has been this defensive line. Been really, really, really good today for Midland. Chase Hanger, one of the guys making some big time plays. Noah Ethan, Van Winkle. Williams has the football, throws it out to the outside, incomplete. J-Bot Garcia couldn't hold on to it on the near sideline. Good coverage on that play right there for Thaver Thornbrew, who we've said his name a couple times. He was playing low right there on that one. 2nd and 10 from the 15. 2:24 to play, one timeout for Doane. Rian Green's in the backfield, 3 receivers to the left of Rook, 1 to the right. The one to the right looks like it's Darnell Riley. Williams looks to his left, looks down the field, taking a shot, and there's nobody there except for a Midland Warrior who makes the interception. Nobody was there for Doane. Robert Vega Jr. picks it off, the 5th-year senior in his senior day here in Fremont. Gets the interception, and Midland will get the football with a chance to finish off the job here against Doane. Robert Vega Jr. came into this game with no interceptions. That's his first of the year. And Midland, as Robert Vega, I guess they have a wrestling-style championship belt that they have whenever they get a turnover. And Robert Vega Jr. is able to lift that one up to the crowd and celebrate his interception, his first of the year. Usually you see teams have a turnover chain, turnover thrown, which is what Colorado had. That's a turnover wrestling championship belt. Here's the handoff on the first play of the drive, and a solid pickup of about 5 yards for Tyson Denkert. That's been the story of the game today for Denkert. 7 to 8 yards per carry for him. 2nd and 5 coming up here from the Midland 47. This game just seems kind of done and dusted, unfortunately, for Doane. They only have 1 timeout, so they can't really stop the clock. And Midland is content with running this clock all the way down to 3 or 2 seconds on the play clock and then running a play. So I think it's safe to say that Doane will unfortunately fall to 0-8 on the season. Midland goes to 5-4. Tries to give themselves a chance to finish in the top 4 of the G-Pack. Berry with a man in motion. Here's Denkert running his way up the middle. Picks up about 2 yards to about midfield. It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up here. Looks like Doane uses their final timeout. Yeah, so Doane's going to use their final timeout. We'll keep this one here. 1:17 to play in the 4th. 27-10, Midland leading it over Doane. What a tough break. I want to give you a quick update on that game in Sioux City. 8:18 to go in the 4th. Morningside went for 2 on that touchdown. They lead 31-29 over Jamestown. Morningside trying to remain undefeated. The only game that they have lost in 2 years was against Kaiser College in Florida in the NAIA playoffs last season. Morningside actually beat Northwestern last year in the regular season match, and then haven't lost a game this year yet. It's funny enough because Kaiser College in Florida ended up playing Northwestern in the NAIA championship and losing to Northwestern. 1:17 to play in the 4th. No timeouts left for Doane. If Midland picks up a first down on this play, it's over. Doane's defense trying to make a stop here and at least just give their offense maybe a chance to pull off a miracle here in Fremont, Nebraska. Berry has got Denkert lined up behind him, 3 receivers to his left. What's the play call here? For Jeff Jamrog, they'll give it to Denkert. Powers across midfield to the 45, and that is a pickup of 7 yards, and all she wrote here in Fremont, Nebraska. First down, Midland, and now Doane has no way to stop the clock. Well, what a win for Midland. They trailed the entire first half, took the lead midway through the 3rd quarter, and never looked back from there. Doane did not score a single point. Oh, excuse me, they actually scored 3 points here in the second half. Midland scored 21. 21-3. Doane is outscored here in the second half. Taryn Berry, the senior, takes a knee in his senior day in Fremont, Nebraska. How fitting is it that Taryn Berry, who wasn't the original starter in the quarterback position, came in for Garrison Beach, who got injured in that Dordt game, and he takes a knee in his senior day, starting again. Didn't get the win last week, lost to Mount Marty, and now they win this week at home. So we get a big handshake line in the middle of the field to end the game. Midland defeats Doane 27-10 in this game here in Fremont, Nebraska, on their homecoming and senior day. The same day, they doubled it up. They also actually tripled it up because they honored a Hall of Fame class of 2023 in there as well. So we'll wait for Coach Bessler to talk to the team and to give some final thoughts out over by the 30-yard line, and then we'll have him for a pregame interview, or excuse me, a postgame interview. The final score from Fremont, Nebraska: Midland Warriors 27, Doane Tigers 10. Midland goes to 5-4 on the season, and in the GPAC they move to 4-4, trying to keep up with Dakota Wesleyan and Dordt in 4th and 3rd. Doane, on the other hand, falls to 0-8 on the season, and they're winless in the GPAC as well. Actually, currently 2 games behind the 2 teams tied for 9th, Hastings and Mount Marty. Doane has Mount Marty next week in Crete. That'll be a fun one. And they have Hastings in their final home match of the season. Like I said before, final score: Midland 27, Doane 10. We'll be back right after this for more post-game coverage and an interview with Coach Bessler. Be right back on All Red.